Hi, thanks for watching. I'm Barrister Daniel Barnett and I want to tell you a little about the Employment Report 2021. I've picked the three big issues that employment lawyers, HR professionals and anyone involved in the world of work needs to know about, and I'll be talking about them over Zoom on the 6th of September. If you register, you don't need to watch it live, you'll get lifetime recordings of the sessions. Let me tell you what the three big topics are, and then I'll explain how it all works. Each topic takes about 75 minutes and there'll be breaks between each session. Topic 1 is on compulsory COVID vaccinations in the workplace. Now, vaccines are now available for all people of working age, but many people are vaccine hesitant. This causes issues with their colleagues who might not want to interact with unvaccinated people, and it causes issues for employers who are acutely conscious of health and safety issues, both for the rest of the workforce and for suppliers and customers who the unvaccinated staff come into contact with. So, in session 1, I'll be talking about whether and when employers can insist on vaccinations and either refuse to hire or indeed dismiss those who aren't vaccinated or those who refuse to supply evidence of vaccination status. You'll learn the 7 common objections staff have to vaccination, and I'll give you some strategies to overcome those objections. When dismissal for refusing to undergo vaccination will be fair or unfair. Whether dismissal for refusal to vaccinate is unlawful discrimination. Now, I'm going to cover 3 reasons here. Refusal to vaccinate because of health concerns, refusal to vaccinate because of pregnancy or breastfeeding, and refusal to vaccinate because someone has anti-vaccine, ethical vegan, or similar philosophical beliefs. You'll learn whether employers can compel existing employees and job applicants to disclose if they've been vaccinated and whether they can insist on being shown evidence. Plus, I'll give you the 9 reasonable steps for employers to consider under the Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999. In addition, I'll be explaining the new legislation on compulsory vaccination for care home workers, which comes into force in November. Now, that's really important stuff, and I'm going to break it down and make it nice and easy for everyone to get to grips with. And that's only the first session. Remember, all the sessions will be recorded and you'll have lifetime access to the recordings. In session 2, I do something novel and very different. Now, I've been through every decided employment tribunal case which has arisen from the first lockdown. The decisions started filtering through the system in about April and May this year. It takes 12 months to get to tribunal, and I've read every one of them. No one else has done this. I've broken the cases down into topics, and I'm going to be showing you the way judges are approaching COVID dismissals and other COVID issues on the ground, using real-life cases as examples. During the session, you'll discover the answers to the following questions. Is an employer obliged to consider furlough before dismissing for redundancy? Is dismissing someone for refusing to wear a mask within the range of reasonable responses? Will COVID always represent a serious and imminent danger to trigger automatic unfair dismissal claims under Section 100 of the Employment Rights Act? Is asking to be furloughed an appropriate step so that it renders a dismissal for that reason automatically unfair? What about asking for PPE? Is that an appropriate step? What about refusing to visit someone's house if they're self-isolating? Will that make someone's dismissal automatically unfair? Can employers impose changes to terms and conditions of employment because of the urgency of lockdown? Can they change discretionary commission schemes? I'll be going through all of these in session 2 and giving you answers from decided cases. Will sending pregnant women home from work because of a lack of social distancing amount to unfavourable treatment on grounds of pregnancy and hence discrimination? Now, as I say, no one else has done this analysis, and this session is the only way of finding out how tribunals are dealing with these issues on the ground. This session's worth the price of admission alone. That's session 2. I'm going to tell you about session 3 in a second, and then I'm going to talk to you about the 2 bonuses I'm throwing in, and I'll also talk to you about pricing. So let's look at session 3. All these sessions are recorded, they're included when you register, you get lifetime access. Session 3 is on 11 alternatives to redundancy. As the furlough scheme tapers off and ends, COVID and Brexit are likely to result in huge numbers of redundancy dismissals. And in session 3, I go through 11 ways in which employers can offer alternatives to redundancy. I'll just pick out half a dozen of the 11 areas we're covering. So, for example, I'll be explaining the benefits and disadvantages of withdrawing job offers, of eliminating temporary staff, of redeployment, career breaks, layoff and short time, and pay cuts. So they're the big three topics: compulsory vaccination in the workplace, decided tribunal cases from the first wave, and 11 alternatives to redundancy. Let's talk about pricing and how to book. Now, it's an all-day session. When I do all-day seminars on my various national tours, you'd normally pay £300 plus VAT to attend. But because this is being done over Zoom, there are huge cost savings which I'm passing on to you. I don't need to pay for venue hire in 17 cities around the UK, as I did when I last did a national tour in 2019. I don't need to pay for ushers and other staff at every venue. I don't need to pay for a sound engineer or equipment hire 17 times over. I don't need to pay for your lunch. And I want to pass those savings to you. So rather than £300, for one person to attend and get lifetime recordings for all 3 sessions, the fee is £65 plus VAT. That's per person, it's not per organisation. So if more than one person from your organisation wants to access the sessions, we drop the price. So 2 people cost £60 per person rather than 65, and as the numbers go up, the price comes down even further. So for example, at 25 people from a single organisation, you're paying just £35 plus VAT per place. And that's not all. As well as access on the day and lifetime access to the recordings, there are 2 bonuses for you. First, I'm going to send everyone who registers a copy of one of these books in my employment law library. So if you register 5 places, you get 5 books. There's a maximum of 10. And after the live session on the 6th of September, we'll get in touch with you and you can tell us which book or books you want and which address you'd like them sent to. Let me run through them very quickly. There are 10 of them. And the first book, I wrote this one about 3 years ago. I do about 3 books a year. Is called Employee Investigations. It's a #1 bestseller on Amazon. It's sold incredibly well. It's a very, very popular book. How to do employee investigations. Number 2 is on GDPR for HR professionals. Bit dated now. I wrote it when GDPR first came in. I have updated it once. This is the 2nd edition. But if you're going for one of these books, this probably isn't the one I'd go for, because by 2021 you probably know all of this. Book 3 is Preventing and Defending Employee Stress Claims. Remember, we'll send you one of these books and you can choose which one after the session on the 6th of September. If 10 of you choose to register from an organisation, you'll get all 10 books. If 4 of you register, you'll get 4 books. Book, I've forgotten the number now, this is number 4, is on Employment Tribunal Time Limits. This is a great book. It just covers everything you need to know about time limits. Book 5 is on Deconstructing TUPE. All these books, by the way, cost £20 normally. You might be able to see the price if I hold it up just there. They're £20 on Amazon and anywhere else you get them, but you'll be getting them for free when you register. Book 6 is on Changing Terms and Conditions of Employment. Book 7 is Constructive Dismissal. It's a simple guide to constructive dismissal. It shows you exactly how it works. Again, I'm not going to go through it in any detail, but you can see it's a fairly full book. They all are. Each book, they're designed to be simple and straightforward and understandable for anybody to follow and to explain a topic very simply. Now, book 8 is, I think, one of my best. It's Resolving Grievances. And it's a guide on resolving grievances. It doesn't have the #1 badge on here because we haven't reprinted the cover yet, because I only wrote this 9 months ago. But this is also a #1 bestseller on Amazon. It hit #1 status, and it's a guide for line managers and employers on how to resolve grievances. Number 9 is HR hazards. Now, I run an organisation called the HR Inner Circle, which is a membership club for HR professionals. We ask the members, there's hundreds of members, we ask the members, what are your biggest problems that you have in work? And these are the 70 most common HR problems with answers to them. And book number 10, which came out very recently, post the Uber case in the Supreme Court, is on employment status, where we cover all aspects of employment status. And as I say, there's a chapter dealing with Uber in the Supreme Court. So those are the 10 books. Plus there's one other thing. As well as sending you one of those books for free if you register one place, more if you register more places, I'm going to do a live bonus Q&A session after the 3 main sessions where you'll be able to ask me any questions arising from the issues we've discussed. Again, it's recorded and we'll give you lifetime access to the recording whether you attend the live session or not. So, what's not to like? This is probably the most significant set of issues that you've needed to know about since lockdown. First lockdown, we had to all get up to speed with the evolving furlough scheme. This is what you now need to know. So please join me, register now, and you get access to all 3 sessions, plus your choice of one of my books sent to you in the post, along with a bonus Q&A session and lifetime access to recordings of everything. And tell your colleagues to come also. go.danielbarnett.com/2021. I'll say that again, go.danielbarnett.com/2021. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I look forward to seeing you on the 6th of September. Bye-bye.